With the loop point done, I'm ready to start building the back half of my animation. If you really consider the structure of a walk cycle, the first half, the first 5 keyframes, are identical in the poses at least to the back half. Just the legs have been swapped. What used to be the plant leg is now going to be the leg that's taking the step on the back half of the animation. Well, I've already figured out the posing of these characters' legs in the first half, both the plant leg and the moving leg. Why don't I just duplicate those keyframes and change their location a little bit and change the material that's assigned to them to make it appear correct? There's no sense in reinventing the wheel. We already have the poses done. Let's just duplicate some keyframes and make it a little bit more manageable. Now, I think what I'm going to do is identical to what I did with the arms. I'm going to break the legs out onto their own animation layers. That way I can test, isolate, and be very, very sure that the poses that I'm copying from one part of the body are correctly being applied to another. It's going to go pretty fast. Let's do it real fast. If you think about it, we have a structure here that we can already kind of draw some inspiration from. We have the arms, okay? They're in their own layer, okay? Let's add a new animation layer. Let's call this front leg. There we go. And we're also going to have another one in here called front or back leg. Okay. Now, the order in which they appear is very, very important because this is a visibility order. If we look at the front arm, since it's on the top of this animation stack, it is occluding everything that's below it. See how it's kind of blocking out the body? That's what we want. We want to do the exact same thing with our legs. So I want to put my front leg right underneath actually, probably the easiest thing is just move my back leg down with these little arrows over here. Yeah, there we go. That way it goes arm, leg, body, back arm, and then back leg. All right, let's turn our arms off and lock them so we don't mess them up on accident. There we go. And let's get to work. I think what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to very quickly move the existing shapes onto their own layers before we duplicate. That way it's a little bit more controlled and it's going to work the way we want it to work. Okay. So here we're going to do, I'm going to start with the front leg. And one of the things that I'm going to do, just to make it a little bit easier, I'm going to turn the visibility of the front leg off. That way the keyframes aren't confusing me with what I'm seeing. So all of my animation information for my entire character is on the body layer. Let's grab all the strokes that represent the front layer. And if you remember, the M key is the keyboard shortcut to move. And we're going to move these to front leg. Now it goes away, which is good. Let's test the animation layer. Yep. That's what we want. We'll leave it off so we're not confused. We'll go to frame 4. Select all the parts and pieces of the front leg. Grab that one too. Yep. Wonderful. We'll move it to the front leg. It goes pretty fast. Luckily for us, we've been good stewards of our scene. We've drawn and organized it in a way that allows us to be flexible in our edits. Okay, let's go to frame 10. Grab all of this in here. Last but not least, can't forget the hip. There we go. We'll move that to the front leg. Now let's test it. Let's turn off the body, turn the front leg layer on, and let's just be really sure that we've moved all of the pieces that we're after and only the pieces that we're after. Yeah, looks like I didn't do frame 13. Let's go back to body. Yeah, this is why you want to have the front leg layer off while you're moving things around, because it's holding the keyframe that's on frame 10 on that layer, because there's not a drawing on frame 13 yet, because I forgot to do this one. There we go. With all of them selected, let's move it to front leg. Yeah, there we go. This is why we test things. By having them isolated on its own layer, we can see very quickly if it's working or not. Another thing that I'm noticing, look way down over here. Because this is a new animation layer, we don't have a keyframe on frame 25 for our animation. So let's fix that real fast. It's going to help us kind of stay a little bit more organized. Let's grab the front leg keyframe on frame 1, Shift D to duplicate, and drag that duplicate way down over there. That way, yeah, that way it's going to work. Okay, we're going to do the exact same thing with the back leg now. Let's turn off front leg, turn body on, turn back leg off. And let's just do this as fast as we can. Back leg, yep, it goes away. That's what we were after. You know you've done your job right if you don't see your legs anymore. Make sure we're getting the hip in there. It's nice to be organized. And it's going to help us in a minute when things get a little wonky. And it really is going to get a little wonky. Again, let's duplicate that first frame and bring it over here to the last. That way, we have everything dialed. Okay, let's test it. Let's turn off our body, turn on our back leg. Are all the parts and pieces there? Yep, they're all there. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, great. Now let's start duplicating frames. We're going to start with the body. The body is going to be the easy one, so I'm all about little victories. Let's just go ahead and start that in there. All right, so I want to duplicate not all the keyframes, but just the keyframes on 4, 6, and 10. We already have a keyframe on frame 25 that's perfect. We just need 4, 6, and 10 to be duplicated inside of here. Now we're going to copy, or actually we can just duplicate these, okay? We're going to duplicate them, move them over to where they need to be. And now we have the body just bobbing up and down quite wonderfully. Let's test it. We always test it. If there's a chance that we messed up, now's the time. And I messed up. I put them on the wrong keyframes. I put it on frame 17 versus 16. Well, I'm happy I caught that now. That would have been driving me crazy. Yeah, there it is. Now it looks like a complete cycle for the body. This is where it gets challenging because we need to take all of the back leg information. Let's turn off our onion skinning so we can see. If you think about it, on the front leg, let's turn front leg on. Check it out. On front leg here, okay, it's planting, and the gray leg is taking that step forward. I need to have all of that information on frame 16 for the back leg, because now the back leg needs to plant and have the white leg move forward. So what we're going to do here is that we're going to copy the keyframes on front leg for 4, 7, and 10 and paste them on 16, 19, and 22 on the back leg, okay? Hang with me, okay? I know it's weird, and it is. It's a little weird, but we'll get there, okay? Let's do it real fast. I find it best to isolate the leg that we're working on. So we're going to be working on the back leg. Let's turn off front leg. Okay, that way we're not visually confused by all of this, okay? And let's start copying the keyframes. Remember, front leg is going to go to back leg, and then we'll do the opposite. The back leg will go to the front leg, okay? So we're going to copy the keyframes, all of these, yoink, okay? We're going to copy them, Command-C on a Mac, Control-C on a PC. We're going to copy them, okay? Make sure your cursor's in your timeline. If your cursor's up here, this is going to be copying strokes. If your cursor's in the timeline, it'll copy keyframes. So we copy the keyframes, and then we're going to go to frame 16 because we're directing the computer which frame we want to paste these into. And now we're going to deselect our keyframes and go to the layer that we want all this information to go on, which is the back leg. Now, don't freak out. What you're seeing here is the draw line on frame 13. It's all going to change when we hit paste. Command-V on a Mac, Control-V on a PC. There we go. Now, let's see if it looks correct. Takes a step. Plants. Yeah. Okay. Now, the colors are wrong, so let's fix the colors. And this is why we isolate them, so it doesn't mess up our brain, okay? We know we're working on the back leg. We'll select the keyframes. We'll go into multi-frame editing. Looks like everything is selected, and we'll just re-tag it with the correct material. There we go. Let's exit out of multi-frame, and let's see if it works. Yeah, there we go. It works. We're going to do the exact same thing for the front leg now. So the keyframes for the back leg at the beginning are then going to be pasted to the front leg at the end, okay? Let's make it really easy for us. We're going to turn off the visibility of the back and turn on the visibility of front, okay? So the back leg keyframes on 4, 7, and 10 are going to be copied. We'll move the playhead to frame 16, go to the front leg layer, make sure that you deselected all the keyframes down here, then paste it in on the correct layer. Paste, okay? Don't freak out. It's going to look okay, all right? Let's test it. Yeah, there we go. Okay, now let's retag all the materials on these with multi-frame editing. Yep, everything looks selected. We'll go back to our material library, go to front, hit assign, turn off multi-frame editing, and let's make sure that things are working just fine. Yeah, and they are. Okay, let's turn on all the animation layers right now. Let's turn on the front leg, what I'm looking for, back leg. There we go. And now There it is. It's all put together. Wonderful. I got a little bug there in the hip, but that's just a small little adjustment that I can make. But as far as the posing goes, that, my friends, is how we do it. We've created a loopable walk cycle. We've focused on the poses. We're restructuring the poses and reusing them, to make sure that the front half of our walk cycle is identical to the back half.